Yeah, and here's one of the tricky things about this, which is that I think it's now becoming very common for scientists and engineers to often wear the same hat or to switch hats. Um, and in a sense, science is the art of understanding something and discovering and understanding, and engineering is applying those discoveries and understanding to build products. And you'll see scientists, engineers might be, you can't necessarily judge them today by what they're doing, because a scientist who, let's say, cares about the discovery or the understanding may actually build a product to prove that they have the understanding. Or the engineer may be doing discovery or doing some sort of seeking understanding in order to build that product. And so it's really about whose are the means and which are the means or the ends for each one. But there's been a great blurring. And a lot of this comes back to the sort of maybe the end of World War II, where in the sort of post-world era, there was this sort of division between science and engineering, which, especially in funding, that maybe in hindsight was a little arbitrary. And that there was almost like this line of we have scientists and we have engineers. And I think that line was blurred before, and I think is becoming re-blurred. And I would strongly encourage people to think of it that way, because I think both sets of skills will be important. Coming from the sort of commercial side of things, where I care about products, especially, I think people who have a science mindset could play huge roles, because there's going to be some discovery that has to be done. And that I would encourage them to think about sort of the shift to commercial, not as giving up sort of what they love about science, but maybe actually allowing that love to sort of have potentially even greater impact.